Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I just say lovely, lovely things about Meghan Markle. Yeah, right. Okay, that is such a lie. I'm such a fraud. Yeah, like this woman putting pretzels into one bag from another that she just bought at the store. No wonder we are getting this article today, and I want to go through this with you because anything to do with As Ever, I love it. I love it so much. As Ever, hands down, the worst name for a brand for anything, really. I shouldn't say that. As Ever New York City is pretty cool. I do have one of their t shirts. Let me take that back. But when you're talking about something to do with Meghan Markle, it's so easy to drop in the As Ever. Fraud as ever, liar as ever, flop as ever. It's so basic. I love it. Let's get into this because we have the Netflix deal is basically dead. This is such a great article. Background noise. And we have just heard another article telling us that Meghan Markle is just noise. That's all she likes to do is make noise. Harry and Meg, let's just say Meghan, shall we? This is $100 million Netflix deal. It just sounds crazier. Is dead after As Ever flop. Bosses are just waiting for the credits to roll. Insider slams. They are just waiting for this thing to be over. It is just dead in the water. Let's get into this. Prince Harry and Meghan $78 million or 78 million pound or 100 million or something ridiculous Netflix deal is dead after As Ever flopped. You're telling me an insider has slammed. I love this insider. Meghan's lifestyle series failed to break into Netflix's top 300 programs in the first half of this year, even being beaten by her old show Suits. Look, it barely even made the top 400. Honestly, it was like 383 or something. The With Love Meghan viewing figures have reportedly been dismal. That's putting it nicely. Harry's documentary, if you could ever remember this thing, Polo, did even worse. Of course it did. Of course it did. Harry is not a creator. Get out of the space, Harry. Move along. Let someone else in that knows what they are doing while you figure out what the F you can actually do. And good luck with that. Anyway, it ranked, this is Polo, this is Polo, ranked at 3,436 out of 7,000 shows. They might want to just check that. I'm sure it was actually a little bit higher than that, as in like worse off, closer to the 7, and was only watched by 500,000 people. Oh, in 6 months. In 6 months. Half of those are Meghan and Harry. Oh my gosh. What about Nacho? He watched it about 100,000 times. He loves himself so much. Speaking to the Mail, an insider blasted. Listen to the wording in this article: slammed, blasted. This deal is dead. That should be in capitals. She had everything going for her. Well, did she? Maybe not. Her name, the name, what name? As Ever, I don't think so. Platform, well, yes. Press, yes. And the numbers were dismal. They're just waiting for the credits to roll. They're letting it expire without drama. That's impossible with Meghan Markle. There's no appetite for anything new. Well, no wonder there's no appetite. Blech. Seriously, what the F is that? Get that off the screen. That is why. Oh, sorry. I should have put a trigger warning. Please, probably best to not eat when you're watching my videos, just in case, just to be safe. The couple's deal with the streaming giant expires this year. Now, no one actually knows which month or when it's actually going to expire, but you would hope it is very soon. The Duchess of Sussex claimed that a second season of her lifestyle show is in the works, but the insider's comments have cast doubt on its future. The Duchess posted on Instagram saying she's thrilled with the decision for a second season. Wearing a Netflix cap, which, like, that could have been merch. Like, why would you not sell that? Not that I would buy it. Anyway, she was seen grinning like a crazy person in a short clip on her stories with the caption, it's so lame. Let us remain calm. Yeah, we get it. Or not. Huh? Because I'm thrilled to share that season 2 of With Love Megan is coming. Oh my gosh. I'm so cringe. Look at me with my cap. Oh my gosh. Look at her. Ridiculous. All right. This is basically another version of this scarcity marketing thing where like everything sells out. It's just all smoke and mirrors. Oh, there's another series coming. We just picked everything off the editing floor and mashed it all together, or all the outtakes. You can only imagine how bad this season 2 is going to be. I mean, that pineapple thing, if you haven't seen that, I don't know where you've been, but I've got a short on that where she basically just cuts into a perfectly fine pineapple, ruins it in one smooth move, and like pulls a little piece of pineapple out for no reason. For no reason, and then probably just discards the rest of it. It's so dumb. So this season 2 is going to be awful. I actually hope they just let the credits roll at the end, like halfway, and then just black screen. Just don't even wait until the end. Just pull it immediately. Megan's 8-part show, that was a long 8-part show, let me tell you, saw her beekeeping. That should be in like little commas. That's not actually beekeeping. Okay, I don't know what she was doing. She was wearing the stuff, but I wouldn't say she was beekeeping. Making homemade candles, pretty basic, and cooking with celeb pals. And I wouldn't even say cooking, including Mindy Kaling and makeup artist Daniel Martin. That Daniel Martin episode, why was that not on the cutting room floor? For so many reasons, for so many different reasons. It was full of basically OH&S incidences. Let's just put it that way. With Love Meghan was released to tie in with the launch of the Duchess of Sussex's As Ever brand, which just makes no sense anyway. The different names, it's so confusing. Obviously, when she was doing her show or filming the thing, she had no idea what the products were going to be because there's not even a product in the show. I mean, she does a bit of flower sprinkles, but they're like real flowers. They're fresh flowers, not the same. And she also has some of the raspberry spread, but it isn't labeled. She doesn't really go on about it. She just had no clue at that point. These two things just do not tie together. So that doesn't actually make sense if you ask me. However, both her Netflix series and her brand have been slammed. There's that word again, by royal experts time and time again. There's no point asking royal experts, okay? Because that just makes Meghan think that she is a royal, and she ain't. Okay, you don't need royal experts. What I like are the marketing experts, the people that she actually wants to impress, the people in the business. She's not trying to make the royal experts love her. She could care less. So we need to hear more from actual industry experts, in my opinion. Speaking on The Sun's royal exclusive show, broadcaster Esther Kraku, interesting name, questioned the point of the the point, there's no point, keep questioning it, of the 8-part With Love Meghan, which saw the Duchess hosting celeb pals. Didn't we already read that? Anyway, they've thrown in Abigail Spencer just in case you forgot, because she's quite forgettable. And how could we forget this bit? Oh, the whole Sussex thing. It's so funny. That was so rude. That was so rude. Mindy just puts up with it because she has no idea what's going on. She was in a daze, this whole thing, way too early to be drinking alcohol. She had no clue what was going on. These two were not vibing at all. One is saying, "Oh, I love your Luke." And one's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." One's saying, "Oh, yes, Meghan Markle." And the other one's like, "I'm Megan Sussex." The whole thing was a disaster. It was an awful episode. They were all awful. We should actually do a vote on which episode was the worst. That's about all you'll get from me on that series. The Netflix series saw Meghan making guest baskets. Well, that's just called putting pretzels into a plastic bag. That's not making anything. Beeswax candles, which is so relatable because she just uses the wax from her beehive. Like, yeah, we can just all go and do that. Yeah, okay. And Daniel was like so amazed. Like melting wax is like amazing to him. Like he couldn't believe it. Useless. And a single skillet spaghetti. I mean, that was completely ripped anyway from Martha Stewart. So yeah, she didn't make that up. Does that surprise you? Filmed at a farmhouse near her $12 million Montecito mansion. Well, near, like not in her mansion. Actually, I would not want to see her kitchen. It is to cook in that kitchen. It's the dingiest thing ever. It's got the most awful wooden paneling on the fridge there. It's terrible. These copper pots hanging, it would just, I'm sure that Netflix would be like, okay, we need to remove those pots. We need to put like some rigging there. And she'd be like, no, no, not the pots, not the hand-me-down pots from the last person that lived here. Disgusting. Anyway, what was I up to? Esther shared, there's nothing there. No, there's nothing there. Nah, you're wasting your time looking. It's a bit like Harry, knock, knock, nobody's home. The lights are on, nobody's home. I'm not so sure the lights are even on. There's just nothing going on there. She's very like, I'm not saying this to be horrible. Well, Esther, come on, you are. Let's be honest. She is not an entertainer or an entertaining person, or just to get it from both angles. I love that. That is horrible, by the way. It's funny because I didn't say it. Like I said, I just read what is in front of me, okay? After signing on the Sussexes in a deal reportedly worth, why do we have to keep hearing this amount? Anyway, a ridiculous amount over 5 years, Netflix has so far created, okay, this is what they have come up with in 5 years. In 5 years. This is so sad. Okay, the Harry and Meghan documentary, which honestly is all they wanted. That's all they wanted. The rest is just dragging it out, pretending to care. Okay, Invictus, I think it's actually called Heart of Invictus, and Polo. Okay, despite any criticism, heaps of criticism, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos is said to be in full support of the Duchess of Sussex because he would look ridiculous and stupid if he said anything else. That's really all that comes down to. So let's just have a look at these shows or this content that the two bozos came up with in 5 years. Just get your head around that. So this thing, which basically just sealed their fate. This was just a bye bye career, down the toilet. See you later. Bye. They should be walking. They should be. We should see their backs in that picture because they basically were just walking away. See you later. We don't want to hear you anymore. There'll be no more success from either of you because you've just spilled the beans in the worst way. So that's what that was, basically. Then we had this thing. Let me know if anyone watched this because, yeah, I have no desire to watch that. Zero, not even to hate watch it. Couldn't be bothered. Heart of Invictus, even the name of it. It's too wanky, I have to say. And then this thing. Oh, sorry, I fell asleep. Polo, yeah, that's not my cup of tea. Nothing that Meghan or Harry do is my cup of tea, including, as ever, tea. Or you could say Republic of Tea. Yeah, so they are complete flops. Flop on top of a flop on top of a flop. And then, of course, we have With Love Meghan, which is just flop central, basically. The second series of With Love Meghan, which has to be worse than the first series, has to be, with no Harry or their children. Well, their children weren't even in the first one, were they? If they were, I don't remember. Did I see a hand? I don't even recall. I have blacked out that part of my life. I think that was very traumatic watching those episodes. That was I'm not looking forward to season 2. I'm going to have to check myself into some kind of facility. Anyway, there's going to be no family because Meghan doesn't really do family, if you weren't aware. I'm pretty sure at the start of this whole thing with Love Meghan, she spoke about what the show was going to be about. I'm sure one of the things was family. There's not one family member in this. So season 2, she's forgotten about her family, doesn't need them. They only hinder her. Anyway, has already been filmed. Yes, we know because it was just part of season 1. You've just chopped it up and is due to be screened in the autumn. Wow. Okay. So that is coming up. For me, that is the spring. So yeah, I'll look forward to that. What do you think? Maybe September, October? Oh, let's see. Probably she'll do something on Halloween. That wouldn't surprise me. Just because Harry and her had that stupid date on Halloween. Meghan relaunched her As Ever brand this summer. Yes, we know. The Duchess of Sussex 143 has added rosé wine to her range. Yes, we know it's awful. It is incredibly flammable. It is tasting disgusting by anyone who knows anything about wine. It's barely a rosé. You'd say it's like a blush wine. I don't even know what this is. Anyway, it's her first alcoholic beverage because she's going to be releasing more. Alcohol is her thing. We see that. We can see that just from watching the With Love Meghan. Every scene she had a drink in her hand. It was a pretty obvious choice. The 2023 Pink Booze, yeah, that's what we should call it, booze, from Napa Valley, California, will be sold via her As Ever website from July 1. It has already been sold. Is this meant to be an old article? What is going on? It came out today. That is pretty sloppy journalism there. So there you go. No Harry. That's so upsetting for everyone who watches this show to see Harry. Who exactly? I don't know. Anyway, he's not going to be in it because if Meghan is not an entertainer or entertaining, then what do you call Harry? What do you call him? He's just a prop, basically. Basically, he's just a pole. Meghan's just holding holding a pole there. Oh, I could say more, but I'll leave it there. It has been announced alongside 2 new spreads now available, including a limited edition orange. I can't even say that. Why can't I say orange today? Orange blossom honey for $28. I mean, that's incredible for honey, which is highly processed. You can just tell by looking at it. It hasn't crystallized at all. It's a weird color. It's too runny. There's something up with that honey. You know, in Australia, we had a big thing, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. I can't recall exactly. But there's honey out on the market and it's not actually honey, you guys. It's not even honey. It was a big deal. So, whatever it was, just sugar, I guess, that's probably what this thing is. And she has also restocked 6 of the original products, including her ridiculous flower sprinkles. I wish they would just go away. But there is no new raspberry spread available after Meg, why are we calling her Meg, admitted she may never restock the infamous jam spread. I had never heard that. I'm pretty sure people are still waiting for that. I'm pretty sure there are still some people hanging out for their free jar because it was oversold. So there's a revelation for you. If you're waiting, just give it up. It's not coming. The brand has been dogged. Oh, there we go. It's another good word by controversy after the mayor of a small Majorcan town accused Meg, of plagiarism over similarities between her logo and their 14th century coat of arms. And for those that don't realize, that's actually from my channel. I'm the one who picked up on that. That one got away from me. I didn't really get the credit there. I put that up on X and it just went too far. It went to mainstream media and I lost it. But that is from my channel. So if you want to watch that video, there it is there. Meghan Markle's new brand logo is plagiarized as ever. Like I said, as ever, it works in any sentence. Just try it out. It's great. And one of Meghan's favorite publications have slammed her fruity creation. She is a complete Fruit Loop. The Cut slated the spread, which could be a huge blow to Meghan. Now we're calling her Meghan again, as she gave one of her first interviews to them after stepping down as a senior royal back in 2020. Honestly, these publications chop and change anyway. I mean, sometimes they like her, sometimes they don't. Sometimes she pays them, sometimes she doesn't. I mean, they're all merging together. No one really likes her except People magazine, I think, and In Style, which I realized is owned by the same people. In the article, the publication got 12 staff members to give the jam a taste for themselves, and it got a very mixed response. I wouldn't pay $14 for this. Its consistency is a little too thin for my taste. You really wouldn't be able to spread it on toast. You can't, it's just runny. Features editor Catherine Thompson said, and features writer Emily Gould agreed the texture was its downfall because it is too runny. It's not a condiment, it is like a coulis or some kind of sauce. It's not meant to go on toast, probably because Meghan never actually eats jam on toast. She's too busy putting it on ice cream or putting it in a drink, because that's just the kind of ridiculous stuff that she would do. She said, I was put off by the texture. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's slimy. It's not how you want your product to be described. And viscous. You can say, okay, I won't go into it, but viscous is not a good word. A bit like baby food. Generously raspberry puree. Exactly. Not a spread. Meanwhile, the Cut's senior editor, E.J. Dixon, didn't mince their words after tasting the spread. They said, it sucks. Anyone who just comes out and says Meghan Markle sucks or something about her sucks, I mean, they just have 0 Fs, honestly. It's so good. It's like something you'd see at the toppings bar at Pinkberry, not a functional standalone jam in itself. No, it's not. There's been 0 thought put into this product. I would argue that not only Bon Mamam is far superior, but also Smuckers. Very disappointing. I figured she'd be better at making jam than producing podcast content. But no, definitely not, you guys. Definitely not. Because Meghan is way too busy creating all kinds of weird concoctions, kind of how she probably came up with the jam recipe. Okay. She just mixes whatever she wants and gets her into all sorts of trouble. It never works out for her. But this is probably the best she can do. And look where it got her. Yeah. Yeah. And I'd love a follow up on this. I can't see anything. I don't think that this person has actually filed this. Maybe they've got a payout. I don't know. I'd love to know. But that is why this show has to be over, because now we are actually injuring people. You know, this is going to hurt Netflix. If this does go to court, I mean, that's pretty significant, I would have thought. So there you go. Netflix deal is dead, apparently, and I'm just waiting for it. They are also waiting for the credits to roll, and then this thing is just done. done and dusted. And I can't wait to hear Megan's excuse as to why she has to step away from this. But the really big question has to be, what does it mean for as ever? Because Megan seems to think that this business hinges on a friendship that she has with Bella Bajaria, I guess, and probably Ted Sarandos and whoever that VP of product development or creation or whatever his job is. Yeah, she's hinging her whole business plan on a friendship. So let's see how that goes, because when this thing is ending, when it is over, what does that look like for as ever? Because she didn't answer that question properly in Emma Grade's podcast. And of course, as soon as I finished taping that show, we got confirmation from the Sun that it is actually 100% done. Deal is canned. Prince Harry and Meghan's, they're calling her Meghan again, $100 million deal with Netflix is scrapped in huge loss of revenue for the couple. It is 100% done, you guys. This is fantastic. Crack open the as ever wine. We need to have a drink, or just pour it down the sink in celebration. Prince Harry and wife Meghan's $100 million deal with Netflix has been scrapped. The streamer will not renew their contract when it expires in September. Oh, this is glorious. The Sussexes and Netflix have mutually decided not to make an official announcement because clearly Meghan wants to avoid being called a grifter again, you'd have to say. But streaming execs have quietly agreed to part ways. It comes after Harry's vanity project, Bolo, about the sport was watched by just 500,000 people. We already went through that. That is shocking. It was also understood that bosses were mildly infuriated by Meghan making her as ever brand a priority. Meghan cannot do multiple things at once. She can only focus on one. Hence, she drops everything else and ghosts people in the process. A source said the deal is done. No more shows will be made. Netflix feel they've got all they can from the couple. They have nothing. All they wanted at the start was that big interview after they left the monarchy, and that was it. The rest was dregs. Netflix were clever in that they got a hell of a lot of viewers for the first documentary series and knew realistically it would prove the zenith of content from the Montecito pair. They're not unhappy with how things turned out. They got those initial hits and produced one of the most talked about shows of all time. Yes, well, not in a good way, certainly not in a good way for Harry and Meghan. The content got weaker from there on, but frankly, for $20 million a year, anything was better than nothing. There's no animosity from either side, if you believe that. Things have just run their course. Netflix execs are well aware Meghan's priority now is her own brand, and they won't play second fiddle to that. Publicly, there will not be a statement, and of course, if things change dramatically, like suddenly these two get some kind of skill happening, not going to happen, they'd be open to a one off project down the line. I think what they mean is a divorce interview. That's all that is. That is Ted keeping the door open because that's all they want, and it didn't come quick enough. But for Harry, oh dear, poor Harry, especially, this will be a blow. Oh dear. It's a huge loss of revenue. This guy cannot afford the lifestyle that his wife wants. She's going to have to trade up, I'm sorry. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos is believed to remain on good terms with Meghan. Oh, maybe Meg and Ted, maybe they could get together. M&T, who knows what she would call him. Teddy, maybe. The source said streamer Paramount Plus was thought to be keen to work with the couple, who would be open to it if the right project came along. There's no right project. They've got no ideas, okay? Now, Meghan has been keeping Paramount very close. She's been playing the long game there. She's been playing mahjong with Tracy Robbins, who is the wife of the Paramount CEO. She knows exactly what she's doing. Just give her like 2 minutes, and there'll be something coming out on Paramount. Just watch this. Last month, it was announced Netflix had signed a deal with King Charles and Idris Elba for a documentary exploring the impact of the King's Trust. And it was understood any deal with the Sussexes could be seen as a hindrance to that link up. Netflix declined to comment. Hindrance is a good word for these two. They get in the way, hence, they're not part of the British family anymore, or part of the monarchy, the working royals anyway. So Harry, poor Harry, such a blow for Harry. He's going to have to get back to his day job. Get back to your Chief Impact Officer role, Harry. Do you even know where the office is? Do you ever go in? What are you doing there? What is a Chief Impact Officer? I don't think you're making an impact. You're certainly not making content. But guys, there you go. Cheers to that. These two sealed their fate years ago with the Harry and Meghan documentary. Karma took its toll, and here we are today. Bye bye, Netflix deal. What is next for these two? What is going to happen with As Ever? Oh, the plot thickens. Unlike the jam, which gets runnier by the day. But guys, thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep these videos coming. Thank you. Bye.